Greetings. I want to give you a quick overview of the expectations of our instructors for the Belhaven Adult Studies program. I want to share with you that this information can also be found in the faculty handbook, but I provide it here just so that you can have a quick kind of look at what would be expected of you in the classroom. I want you to look at this image on the screen for just a moment. You see that on the left it says content, on the right it says class, and there's a link in the middle there. Truly, the instructor is the link between the content and what happens in the classroom and student learning. Without you, as the instructor, nothing's going to work. What you bring into the classroom and how you do that is literally the difference between content alone and actual learning that goes on in the classroom. So we value what you're doing and how you do it, and I want to take this brief time and just kind of skim through some of these expectations. First of all, we would expect that you would have read all the books and faculty materials prior to class. That seems like a no-brainer, but I've had occasions in the past where that has not been the case. We would like for you to have an awareness of the importance of the course learning outcomes. In every piece of curriculum, there is a list of the learning outcomes for the course, and we are eager that those learning outcomes be achieved throughout the course. And so that's the focus of what we're doing. We want you to have prepared a collaborative learning strategy in coordination with the curriculum. That is a strategy that will work with adults to bring a collaborative experience into the classroom so that learning can occur at an optimal level. You need to be following the faculty guide. Our curriculum doesn't allow for any too much deviation from that, so you will need to stick close to your faculty module, and we need you to start on time and end on time. Faculty any field trips have to have the prior approval of the dean. That's pretty much a standard. We want you to grade to a standard of excellence in light of the level of the class. For instance, freshman, sophomore, etc. That is, you would grade freshmen a little differently than you would grade seniors. Not in the expectation of excellence, but in the standard of where they can reasonably be expected to meet that standard. And so we trust that you can do that, understanding freshmen versus seniors in your grading. We want your grading to be accomplished in a timely manner. All of the grading needs to be accomplished in that week between the time the homework is submitted and the time the class meets again the following week. I can't overemphasize this. We said it a moment ago when I said start your class on time, end your class on time, and that is to keep your class in session until 10 p.m. Breaks cannot be saved to release students early. Students may tell you that other faculty are doing it, and they are not. We are adamant about keeping our classes till 10 p.m., and we expect you to be a support of that. You can take breaks, not to exceed 20 minutes total. Best is to take a 10-minute break around 90 minutes into the class, around 7:30, and then another 5 to 10-minute break around 9 p.m. That seems to give the students the best chance to keep themselves awake and to get a little movement around. We need you to mark attendance by noon the day following class. And by marking attendance, I mean that on the first 2 weeks, you would mark attendance and absences. And after the second 2 weeks, you would mark the roster verification. All of this is described thoroughly in the handbook. And then you would continue to mark absences only for the remainder of the class. This is crucial. This is a zero tolerance for error point, and marking attendance is serious business and has significant ramifications for financial aid and for the institution. So we need you to be on top of marking attendance appropriately. All of that, again, is contained in the handbook. We need you to be available to students for spontaneous conversation before and after class. This creates a collegiality and an atmosphere where the students see you as a real person invested in their lives. We would like you to use the retention alert reporting feature. This also is described in the faculty handbook so that you can indicate students which could be at risk for failing and we can bring resources to bear to help them. You'll be expected to attend one faculty development workshop each year. There are 2 scheduled, plus usually monthly webinars and other resources made available from time to time. But you will need to attend at least one faculty workshop in order to maintain an active status. We'd like you to leave the classroom in a neat and orderly fashion. Clean off the whiteboards, push in the chairs, make sure the trash is in the trash. If you want to have a guest speaker, that's a great idea, but please make sure the dean is aware of it and has approved your speaker, and be aware there is no budget for guest speakers. Classes cannot be canceled without consultation with the dean or moved in location. So be aware of that. If you, for some reason, cannot make a class, then that's explained in another bullet point, so I won't do it here, but you cannot cancel a class for any reason. That is the responsibility of the dean. We need you to collect and turn into the dean any substantive assessments which have been conducted. These are listed in your faculty module, so you won't have to figure those out, and you may be reminded by an email by the dean of what those are. For all courses, grade the writing. We grade writing. We grade writing across the curriculum, and we hold students to high standards. The Belhaven APA Quick Guide, where there is links to that in the faculty help area or in the academic help area, which is in Canvas. This is the only acceptable standard for adult studies. So you cannot hold students to a different APA standard or a different APA book or a list of things. These are the standards that you are expected to hold the students to. So you should be familiar with that and recognize that you do not have leeway here to enforce a different version of APA or a different formatting version at all. Turn in your grades on time. Grades are due 1 week after the last class session. Report any corrections, update, or issues with your course curriculum through the curriculum update. This update form is found in the left navigation column of each Canvas course site, and that will be the best way to get corrections or materials. If you have materials you want to upload for students other than what you might send them through the announcements, but for future reference, you can also send them there as well. If you have an emergency and you cannot teach a class session, notify the dean immediately. Do not attempt to find a substitute. The dean will take care of that. All right, this has been fast. If you have any questions about any of these expectations, please contact your dean. Oh, and I really encourage you to look through the faculty handbook and become familiar with the contents. You will find a great deal of guidance and help in there. Thanks a lot.